It's understandable. Yes, it just means that one of us will have to invest into actual medicine and not just rely on a waterbender. Yeah. Oh, I know what I'm getting. I'm getting well rounded for driving and leadership. No, not leadership, and driving and piloting. There's a reason why the Earth Kingdom doesn't like nobles anymore. What?
Sheets and look it over, and then we'll get started after that.
I'm ready whenever everyone else is.
Same.
Hang on, I'm getting the finishing touches on this.
I have the breakfast of champions.
Rec,
Chocolate-
unfortunately for you, I am watching the chat.
Chocolate milk and donut holes.
I have chalky milk in front of me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the dinner of champions tomorrow. I watched football, so tomorrow's gonna be a wings and cornbread day.
Cornbread good.
Yes.
Hang on, I'm about to get the final piece of this real quick.
No, you're good.
I'm just trying to find what it's called right now and fill it out.
I mean, you get a pass for how quickly we found it this time, Rec, but that's still twice.
I don't know how. I think I might have a hotkey for muting because I don't know because it was on.
You might.
And
You're never
That'd
living
probably
it
be something
down.
you need to check out.
that's something I need to check out.
Oh. Just so everybody else is in the loop, this is now the second time that Rec here has muted everybody but himself for stream, I guess.
Well, it's
Granted, it was
because
only 2 minutes this time.
yeah, last time it was because and last time I noticed it myself after 30 minutes. I was like, oh wait, that's muted. And
It's going to become a running gag.
It probably will become a running gag, but you can. But if you watch that episode, which I think is what the episode 6 for the Lost Cause campaign,
I believe it is. Yeah.
you can see my visual like, oh, I fucked up when it happened.
Rec, you should just add like a points thing on your or a deeming points thing on your channel to just mute everybody but yourself for this stream.
That would actually be really funny.
Alrighty, I don't know what I should be filling out for that last bit of experience, so I'm just gonna save it for now and just buy Torment, and that's it.
All right, that sounds good to me.
Alrighty, I'm ready to go.
Same.
Okay, cool. So, as a quick recap from a couple weeks ago, y'all were wandering inside of Republic City on a relatively busy street, where you saw a Republic City airship begin to crash down on the street that you were in. With some quick bending for earth and sand, you were able to create a ramp that the ship was able to land on, so no buildings were injured. You were able to go inside of the ship and found that many of the metal earthbenders, the police force inside the ship, were injured, but you were able to heal the most grievous of the wounds as well. After that, you went to the back of the ship where there was a fire. Were able to put out the fire and find that it looked like it was sabotage from a blast that was centered near the propellers, and were able to find a small piece of the equipment that was used for the blast that had had designs of the Triple Threat Triad, which is one of the local gangs inside of Republic City. With that, we'll start back inside with all of the members of the party inside that kind of engine room area. So, what
Yes.
would you all like to do?
Who was the one who was looking at it and found it last time?
I think it was Hada and
Yeah.
I found it and then I gave it to Hada, who identified what it was.
And then I think I also said that I knew about the goings on, like that there was some crime lords getting together and stuff like that. I think I explained that with the help of my sources from. So I think I explained that as well, but I didn't find the clue or whatever.
Okay. Well, Jin has no idea what any of that means, so he's going to defer to everyone else's judgment.
I think we should report this to the proper authorities.
I don't know how great the proper authorities are at dealing with this, and he's going to gesture towards the obviously blown up airship.
This was to show, of course, that the authorities can't touch them. Well, I am not part of the Republic City Police Force. I am still a veteran of the Earth Kingdom Militia, and it would be hard against my morals not to intervene in some way. That being said, I believe we will have to take things into our own hands to do so.
I agree with you. What was your name again?
Lately,
Mr. Lee. But
Miss-
I think that we should be able to reach out, and help use the resources that the police force has, in order to help intervene and aid them and successfully stopping them.
do I look that much like a man?
You just looked straight at Lately and shrugged.
Oh, sorry. No, that's not what I meant. Sorry.
I know, but it's a common thing that happens. This is why I do it. Why I always make the joke.
Yeah, but that I meant to say Miss Lee. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry. So that's what I meant. I meant Miss Lee.
Don't worry,
My-
we're only going to pick on you for it.
that was me out of character being confused. Sorry.
You're good.
You're good.
It's okay, buddy. You'll get it next time. And you just pats the noble on the back.
It's not.
And how many credits does he steal?
I'm not sure I wanna do that check yet.
Well, you sure shouldn't, dude.
You know what? Just because you said that, what? Let's go with that's probably a skullduggery, right?
Versus
Yeah.
my perception, maybe.
That's usually
Yeah.
what opposes skullduggery in the.
It's either
Usually,
perception or
yes.
vigilance.
Depends on how aware you are of it at the time.
Here, let's go ahead and go with perception.
Okay, so that's gonna be one red and 2 purple is what mine is, which is because I have a perception of 1 yellow and 2 green.
You don't notice.
Oh, well, great.
I don't know how much I steal though.
Oh, great. Well, I mean,
It has already started.
I'm stealing from the
I'm
party.
practically a rogue. It's fine.
So, does he just steal all my money?
No.
No.
One success,
No.
one advantage is nowhere near all your money.
That'd be like
Yeah,
a
no, that's
triumph.
multiple triumphs.
Maybe like 5 credits or 5 copper coins or something.
Yeah, let's call it 5 copper.
Okay. Does anybody else notice this?
Actually,
Does anybody have a higher like perception than that, or a vigilance higher than that?
I don't think so.
no. I think the one that would
I have a
have higher
penalty
is
to my
you.
next one.
I have one.
The one who
Right?
would have
With
higher
the-
is the one who stole.
Yeah.
I mean, Jen has equal to you, but he has a setback to his next check.
So he steals a single coin and you just immediately starts just like flipping up and down. I would assume it'd be a Fire Nation coin too. So he's just flicking it up into the air and catching it as he
Okay.
as
How
he kind
bold.
of walks away.
All right.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So what is everyone else doing? Because Jen doesn't particularly know what to do.
I mean, my character and I think Lays maybe would want to go and report this to the authorities, right? And help them make sure that they help catch the bad guys.
Yeah, reporting it to the authorities is the next step in Laylee's mind, but allowing them to
Yeah.
take full control over this is a bad idea.
I know. Well, what we could do is we could just help them per se, like, and use their resources to catch the bad guys with them.
So
I'd
if
rather-
we
I'd
help
rather
them
not-
catch the
I'd-
bad guys, we get a paycheck, right?
I'd
Hmm.
rather do this without being considered without breaking the law. So
I mean, there are several cases of a reward being given for assisting in the capture of high value criminals.
Are you saying this happens a lot?
Wei says I've never seen this kind of rebellious nature or at least this kind of criminal influence happen before, at least in the Fire Nation, but it's something that's, I guess, happens commonly here because from my resources, that supposedly the criminals around here have made their moves lately. So
In the countryside of the Earth Kingdom, where there's not much law enforcement presence, bounty hunters are constantly capturing criminals and bringing them to us.
Oh, if there are coins involved, we're in. And he's gonna grab Jen and like kind of
Not but
grab him by the shoulder, pull him in, and be like, "Yep, we're bounty hunters now."
Jen just looks completely defeated.
And that's how you get the tree.
Sounds like a good opportunity to test stuff out.
Alright, well, if that's the case, let's go return to the wounded and evacuate them.
Wei gives a nod and he says, yes, let's be on our way now." And he makes like a small motion to go and make his way back to the cockpit, I guess, which is the front of the ship, to see about trying to help the people off the ship from that entrance that we had made with the metal bending. Or rather, the entrance that we metal bended off, or whatever. The door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
metal
All
bending's
right.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, metal brain takes a lot of strain. You were cruising through metal bending.
Yeah, geez, that is a lot of strain.
Well, it's a lot more because I don't have the ranks to actually do it.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
All right, so you all managed to get up to the front of the airship. The wounded have been helped up by those who really just suffered scrapes and bruises as part of the crash. And they look up at you and say, "What did you find?"
Laylee will step forward and says, "It appears that the engine room has been sabotaged from the various knowledge given to us by our lovely noble here, as well as this technician. Because she hasn't seen you airbend yet, so you're just a mechanic to her.
Yes.
This technician, we have gathered evidence that this was a coordinated strike by the, and I cannot remember the name of the triad, but by
Triad.
triple threat?
Yeah,
Yep.
triple threat triad.
By the triple threat triad, using an explosive device to cause the engines to explode.
That one of the metal benders who has a special insignia on their metal chest plate goes forward and says that that's horrible. I never expected the triple threats to be that bold against the police force.
Well, if that is the case, then something has changed.
We have been cracking down more on them. They recently have begun dealing with drugs on the street, which has been infecting the city and causing many ill people to come out, which has caused chaos.
I am new to the cities. What drug is this?
We don't know exact. Oh,
What?
sorry.
I'm not entirely familiar with what drugs are.
Wei says it depends, but at least from what my father told me, it's a some sort of like medicinal thing that some people enjoy for recreational purposes, but some of them can be very lethal and very dangerous.
But doesn't medicine? Jen just looks completely lost.
I
Yeah.
know it's not the kind of medicine that you're supposed to normally take to feel better. It's
Anything in large enough quantities can become deadly, like a poison.
exactly. It's usually a type of medicine that people can become addicted to, like alcohol or something like that, or smoking or something like that, where they can't get enough of it, and then they take so much of it, then they get sick and stuff like that. But that's
He
pretty much.
still doesn't seem to quite get it.
Well, I will explain it to you later over drinks.
Uh, um, just head down, steps
tap
behind
Jen
you.
on the back and says, "You got this, buddy." I mean, look, she even asked you out this time.
I give a thumbs up.
Wei,
His Jen's head is just face down, and he's sort of hiding behind his brother.
Wei doesn't even notice like what's going on. These.
I don't think anyone does.
So Wei looks to the authorities and says, "Do you any of you need help with getting out of the ship, and maybe we can assist you with helping stop these triad members, sir?"
With that, he responds back saying, "Yes, if you could help the wounded out of the ship, that would be very helpful. There's not quite enough of us to help all of them out."
Wei gives a nod and he says, I'll be glad to be of service," and then he just goes and helps whatever wounded he can get out there. But like he's just like helping him get out of the place and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Laylee will also be helping.
Jen goes to help, and who is left at this point?
I mean, I'm helping as well.
Yeah. Laylee is not quite as strong as Asya, and she carries a lot more shit, so she can't, like, just throw people over her shoulder.
All right.
Yeah.
With that, oh, sorry.
Nope, I was just saying Jen will help whoever he can. Whoever he can give a hand, he'll help out.
You will help anybody who he can, but 2 bronze not going to help a whole ton.
I mean, that's average.
Yeah, same.
Same.
It's like normal person.
With that, you are able to quickly ferry the rest of the metal benders outside of the ship. And you can see that there are 3 police force vehicles outside of the ship right now that are now waiting for you.
And in vehicles, that is see, they're all automobiles in
No,
the
they're
Avatar
all
setting.
cabbage cars. Cabbage cars.
Oh, okay, cabbage cars. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So are they waiting for us to enter them, or?
Right now, you can see some of the metal benders from the vehicles come out and say, "What happened?"
So, Laylee will put her hand up to the rest. It says, there was an accident in the airship. We can discuss the details in private later." And she gives whoever looks like the commanding officer like a knowing look. Like there's things to talk about.
With that, the officer says, "Okay, well, let's take care of the wounded first, and then you're welcome to come with us back to the station to discuss exactly what happened."
Wei gives a nod and he says, "As you wish, sir." And he's going to like just help them make sure they're all good to go. All the injured get to the place where they're supposed to do to get that get treated or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Laylee knows you don't cause a panic in the middle of the street by
Yeah.
telling them this was a terrorist attack.
As Jen passes off the soldiers helping, I did what I could. I've seen worse, but he might still need some attention.
With it, the captain looks at you and says, "You've done a good job here. These men are able to walk. Without your help, I feel that might not have been the case."
No, it really wasn't anything special.
It was very special.
Uh,
In fact, I don't think anyone else could have possibly done it.
Hada looks offended.
Yeah, I do.
See, our little group here, we're the best around.
Hada can probably see Shen trying to point him out, but Shen's learned that he cannot physically talk over you. It's not possible.
All right. Well, I don't suppose that you have any special rules about being in the back of a police cruiser. We don't need to handcuff ourselves, right?
No, of course not.
All right. Well, everyone into the police cruiser.
Yeah. What Wei Shay would hold the door open for Lei, since she's the only lady there.
Lei doesn't even think
As soon
anything
as you open the door, you says thank you, and it just steps right in front and takes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they all sit down. Jen kind of leans over to you. Do you
Just
know
to
what
make it
handcuffs are?
just to make it funny, because I imagine that Yu gets in, then Zen gets in right after him, then Lei Li gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is that even enough? Like, where would I be sitting then? Would I just go in another car?
Probably.
I imagine it's like a
Yeah.
bench on either side of the back of this car, so you can like fit 3 on one side, 3 on the other.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
I'm
the
anywhere last.
like older style cars, how they didn't really have seats. They didn't a lot of older style like vans and stuff like that. They didn't have like actual seats like we do
They had a
now. They had
bench.
benches in the back.
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I thought but they had doors, right?
Yeah, they had
Yes.
doors.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because I didn't know. Like, okay, gotcha. I thought it was more like you were making it sound like it was a trolley kind of thing, but
Nah, I think we're a bit past that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen goes and sits down next to his brother, and then Lei sits down next to him. You definitely notices that Jen averts his eyes, and His face is bright red.
Lately just has her arms crossed as she looks at the other two that get in. I'm not actually sure if Laylee and Hada introduced themselves to each other.
I don't
I don't think
so.
anyone has given their full proper names.
Yes, and
Except for Wei Shen.
yeah, Wei
Yeah,
Shen and
except-
Laylee gave it to each other. It says this. Well, I believe our greetings are a little belated, but I am Laylee, former lieutenant of the Earth Kingdom Militia.
Wei seems a little bit more intrigued about a former militia woman. So, but what is everybody else? What is everybody else called, if I may ask?
I am Hara Getchen, former furnishings maker.
I'm Zhen, and this is you. And he introduces his brother as himself, and himself as his brother.
Yeah, Hada's got to get them all.
Yeah, I'm.
When-
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to realize.
Yeah, no. It's as soon as his brother speaks up, Shen looks up. Wait, no, that's you're I'm Shen. Hi.
Well, it's an honor to meet all of you.
If you're Zhen, then who is he?
I'm you.
Shen nods like this is supposed to clear everything up.
I believe I
Ah.
believe this man's name is you.
That would make sense. That is a horrible name to give someone who is so sly with their words.
That's exactly why it's funny.
All right, now that we've played who's on first, who's on second, you quickly arrive at the police station. The back doors of the vehicle you're in open up, revealing the captain who you spoke with earlier. And he says, "Come with me. We must speak with the commander at once."
Laylee says, "Yes, sir." Just
As you wish.
out of instinct when receiving an order.
Wei would say, "As you wish," and would help everybody out, being like a proper gentle nobleman, and help everybody out. And he would go into the station, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shen will just follow his brother.
Yeah, you'll get out and follow along.
I'm
Looking
following
around.
along as well.
Looking around at his fellow cons people probably in custody.
Yep. So you do happen to walk past the general holding area, where people are behind metal bars, near the entryway of the police station. You take a winding path upstairs and enter out into a small foyer, where there is a young woman earthbender who bears the mark of commander. And she looks at each of you and says, "I've been briefed that the airship crashed because of something to do with the triple threat, and you all had something to do with recovering my men, from my understanding."
That is correct. At least when I noticed that the airship had been crashing, I was able to alert the surrounding populace, and with the help of Zen and Yu Renjing, we were able to create a sand pit and a ramp so that we may soften the landing and rescue the people on board.
My many thanks to you. You helped to save the lives of many, both aboard the ship, as well as the lives that would have been lost if it had hit buildings.
I believe that yes, Hata here He is a
Yes.
technician of sorts and was able to identify the explosive.
Was I ever told what type of explosive it was? Or
You weren't, but if I remember, you rolled pretty well on the check to be able to figure out what it was. It
yeah.
looked almost like gunpowder that was like packed together.
Okay. And I still have the detonator on me, yes?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I believe I hold out the detonator. I believe that the explosive used was gunpowder, and that they used this detonator to set it off. Is it like timed or something? Could
Oh,
I
you can
tell if it was
tell.
a timed?
You can tell that it was like a time device.
Okay. It was a sort of timed device, so they must have snuck it on before the airship left.
The commander looks at you, um, and realizes she hasn't introduced herself properly, and says, "I'm Commander Fong, and these men all look up to me to make sure that nothing happens to them. To have one of the triple threat triads be able to sneak aboard one of our airships is terrifying, as they could do so again unless proper precautions are taken."
Yes. If it is the case that they snuck it on board, it is possible they have an inside man as part of the airship technicians. I am Lei Li, former lieutenant to the Earth Kingdom Militia.
And I am Wei Shin, son of the great dragon warrior of the Fire Nation. At your service, ma'am. I was able to help repel many of the people around me as well, and also helped extinguish the fires that were still being a bit rampant from the furnace that was of the engine that was on the ship.
With that, she looks at you and says, "Thank you. Thank you so much for your help. I fear that this task of finding out exactly who and how this device was implanted will take much of our resources. But would you be up to the task as well? We have a small reward system that we use when there are rather large mysteries around us or ones that will tax our own resources."
How much of a reward exactly?
With that, she says, "Well, you would have to find out exactly how it got delivered aboard the ship, and then bring the people who did it to justice." So, and she pauses for a second and thinks, 1,200 copper pieces.
You just
Uh,
see the cartoon thing of like money signs and use eyes for a second.
Wei
Because good.
Wei would say I know that my mission out to come out here was to build connections with the people of Republic City on behalf of my father. So helping you out will be a great step in doing that, ma'am. It'll be my honor.
Lei Li just
That's
kind
nice, but we still want the money.
Lei Li cracks her knuckles and then rolls her neck. He says, "Well, I didn't imagine I'd get into this much fun in Republic City within the first few days."
Wei would also ask, so where was the ship first when it took off? Where did it take off from originally? Do we know that? That
Uh,
most likely is where we can begin our search.
Commander Fong says, yes, it was one of our hangar bays located on the edge of the city. That is where it took off right now, and where I've already sent some men to try to investigate the area. You have my leave to investigate as well, and have free access as you see fit in order to find whomever it is that did this."
Hmm. Well, we'll find those responsible and bring them to justice, regardless of who they are.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions for me or any information that I can provide that may prove of use for your search?
So what was the ship carrying? Was it just a patrol ship for the police, or was there anything particular? Also, another question that might be important is, do you happen to have like any information on the people that work there at that place that um like work at the where they had taken off from, obviously.
With that, she pauses and says, "It was a regular patrol ship. There was nothing special or unique about its trip or its cargo. In
Okay.
terms of information regarding those who work at the hangar, that is something I can certainly provide to you. I will have to talk to my secretary in order to get the necessary documents ready. Um, but that may prove of some use uh, when you are investigating the area and talking with individuals who work there."
Another thing though that might be of use as well, ma'am, would be perhaps a map of the facility, so that in case it was not a member of the hangar, it could if it was an intruder that came on and attached that to the ship, we might be able to locate any sort of discrepancies of where they might have entered from the facility. So a map might be useful to help us navigate the place safely.
With that, she pauses for a moment and goes over to her desk, rummages for about a minute or so, and pulls out a long flowing map and says, "This is one of the maps we have concerning that hangar. Hopefully, it will prove of use to you as you go to investigate."
Wei gave a small, respectful like bow, like a typical nobleman would, and he says, "I appreciate the kind gesture. We'll see to figuring out who caused this issue and bring them to justice for you."
With that, she says, "Thank you. Um, my men will want to see justice done, and I definitely want to ensure that the safety of our police force and our people."
Alrighty. Also, one last thing though. Maybe some information about the triad and the triple threat triad, and maybe like their actions in that area might be useful, or like any of their leaders or anything like that might be of interest, just so we can maybe see if there was like any activity that is near there, and if there is, maybe there was any potential suspects. So
Excuse me. Yes, certainly. I can provide you some information on that. Triple Threat Triad has existed for decades now, almost a century, and we know that they have begun plying the drug trade upon the citizens of Republic City. The trade is really focused on making people feel stronger, um, enhancing their natural abilities. The problem is, after the drug wears off, they are in a weakened state, and easily succumb to any type of illness.
he gives a small nod, and I understand. And then, is there any activity of their triad within the vicinity of the hangar?
With that, she says, "I'm not aware of any such activity. They usually give our hangars and our stations a wide berth."
Uh,
Um,
Wei gives a nod, and he says, "I understand. If you figure out any potential suspects, then that are obviously not within that wide berth, but like that are closer within that vicinity, that are obviously like close to that section of the city or whatever. You're welcome to tell us that later while we look into the people that work at the hangar."
yes, that sounds like an excellent plan.
Now that we have a map, GM, could I take a look at it and try to see if there was a good place for somebody to like infiltrate from?
Yeah, so you can go ahead and take a look at it.
What type
So
of check would that be?
that would be a perception check to try to catch where on the map there would be weak points.
Okay. What would the difficulty be?
It's going to be a average check, but you get a boost because of the quality of the map.
Wow, I did not roll a single success.
What were you trying to roll
Nope.
for?
Determining if I could find like a good place to break in to.
Man,
I
actually,
think people probably
map.
would have.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So was this a skullduggery check or a perception check?
That was perception.
Perception.
Okay, I'll do a perception as well, maybe with the help of the map. How difficult is that? 2 purple, you said?
2 purple, and you also get a boost die.
Okay, gotcha. Let me just pull up my perception. I'm just trying to find it right now. So there's that. And then that. And then you said 2 purple, right?
Correct.
Okay, let me roll it now. There we go.
Hey,
The person
Hey.
that's lawful good and is not a criminal figures out how criminals can get in.
All right. So you look over the map, and you can see that the hangar has many choke points in it. But you also notice that there is a underground ventilation system that runs directly below the ground of the hangar and leads to the outside as well. So if someone were able to take open the grate covering the ventilation system and was willing to deal with a bit of heat, they could certainly go ahead and get underneath the hangar system and then pop out wherever they wanted to in the hangar, since the ventilation system runs all over the hangar.
Ah, I
Okay.
gotcha.
So I'm assuming that's relayed to everyone.
Yes. I relay that to everybody to help them with the search.
Jen just kind of scratches his head, still staying in the back. He's not entirely sure how buildings are supposed to work out here. They're different than anything he's ever seen before. Not entirely sure what a vent is either.
In favor of the ever present fake it till you make it. You looks at the map after you say that and says, I totally agree. That is definitely how they got in. I definitely know what a vent is.
do you people seriously not know what a vent is?
No, I just told you. I know what a vent is.
What does it do?
So it's a thing, and uh, it does stuff.
We live in huts back home. Jin says, kind of just keeping his head down.
I mean, we practically live on the sand cellars as much as we live in huts.
He nods acknowledgement with that.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone else want to do anything with the map?
I mean, obviously we know where those places are going to be. I think we should also like talk to maybe the people in charge of the hangar next. Be probably the next
Yeah.
course of action. Maybe get a list from them of who would be working here. Oh, Lay, did you say something?
If you're saying anything, Rec, you're on mute.
Yes, I was. I was absolutely on mute. Like I
There
had
we
my
go.
mic muted because I went to the bathroom,
Oh,
and
okay.
That would explain it.
Okay.
and I'm like, huh? Why is everyone responding to me? GM. First of all,
Yeah.
I know he's lying, but 4 threats.
What are you rolling against?
Your
You.
deception.
To know you don't know what event is.
I guess I get to spend those threats. I don't really know what to spend them on.
He doesn't know what events are either.
Cause him strain. Give him strain.
So no, I can't
The
straight him
fact
out
that
with
someone
that. That
doesn't
would
know
be
what
funny.
the
But
fact that
I
someone
can't
doesn't
straight
know
him out.
events are is deeply concerning. It won't strain him out. They'll still have one left.
Yeah, he'll have one.
I won't be able to
No,
do
I
anything.
know. That's why I said I'm not gonna do that, because it won't strain him out. So
Mm.
it's not funny. Not funny enough, at least.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I don't know what vents are, but you think Zhen does. That's what the threats are being spent on.
All right. So you're you're the dumb one. He's the smart one then.
Sure. I don't know why, but I feel like that makes it funny.
Yeah, Zhen sitting over there scratching his head clearly means that he knows and is trying not to make his brother look bad.
Yeah. Either way is it technically speaking, which one of you is the thinner one, you or Zen?
Let's see.
I think we're both
Braun. Yeah, both two Braun.
Okay, so you're both thinner than me. It says is
Mhm.
if one of you two who knows what vents are would like to accompany me, we can retrace these steps into the. We can go through the vents and see if we can't figure out the path they took to get in.
Sure. Well, I
Yeah.
totally definitely know what a vent is. So
Yeah, Zhen kind of backs away and steps behind his brother. Basically, he's volunteering you.
Yes, and because Laylee is from a military, you by volunteering someone else, you volunteer.
Oh no.
oh yes.
Oh, all right, Zen, you'll be with me then.
These
And
vents
she crosses
You
her,
hears his brother swallow hard.
and Laylee crosses her arms and says, "Is when you're around me, you'll learn not to volunteer others."
That's not
You got
So-
it, buddy.
So, where do you need me? Where should I be going?
I believe that your silver tongue will be best used talking to the people in charge of the hangar, and
Wait. No, you go ahead, Lay.
and you, I believe that going with Hata would be the best idea, as with your slyness and his mechanical knowledge, it should allow for you to talk to the technicians around the hangar.
That seems reasonable.
You just kind of shrugs and says, "Sure."
I have half a mind to see if we can't send you on the streets to ply into the drug trade itself, but I don't want to give you money.
Why? I'm sure you'll get it back.
I can give him some of mine.
But for now, I do not want anyone splitting too far away. It's already a risk having Wei Shen talk to the. God, what are they called? The
Foremans.
Are they foremans in hangars? I don't think they are. I think it'd be hangar chief.
Yeah, hangar chief.
Oh,
Speaking to the hangar chiefs alone, because
If
For
you
all
want
we
me to
know, they could be
investigate-
on triple threat payroll.
If you want me to investigate the drug trade, Wei Shin here volunteered some of his money, and he'll continue flicking the Fire Nation coin. With a very shit-eating grin. I don't even think there'd need to be a perception check for that. You'd be able to know that's probably your money. If you,
Oh,
if you
my
wanted
money?
to. Yeah,
My
no,
money?
he is flipping your money up and down and literally said you volunteered it while having
Well,
a shit-eating grin.
why? Wei seems very upset and says, "Where'd you get my money from?"
You volunteered it.
Let us break the huddle and continue on. I don't believe any of us have a form of transportation, so we're either taking a taxi or walking.
How far away is the hangar from here?
Yeah.
It's on the it's on the other side of the city.
Oh,
So-
okay. Then yeah, it's not walking distance, I don't think.
Yeah.
Then we'll just take Wei will say, "It's fine, give me my money back so that I can order us a taxi." He holds his hand out.
He'll give the coin back and say, I mean, if you really need it. So yeah, you
Wei's-
should have your 5 copper back.
Well, yeah. That's Fire Nation currency, dude. So
That
anyways,
was the point.
And then it's discovered they don't take Fire Nation currency here.
copper's copper though. That's the sad part though. If they don't take it, so yeah, we'll just order a taxi or whatever, and I'll pay for it since I'm filthy rich.
All right, so you're able to go ahead and call. It's going to take you a couple of taxis in order to get there.
Yeah. So Laylee will pay for the second one.
Yep. So each taxi
Okay.
costs 10 copper
Okay.
to get to the other side of the city. You have an uneventful journey there, and you see before you what looms a large hangar. You can see several airships tied off on the outside as it looked like they just landed. And you can hear the hustle and bustle of mechanics working inside, as well as various shouts from the work floor.
All right.
Yeah, Jen, as they're all getting out, kind of tries to remain unnoticed,
Yeah.
specifically by Lay.
Nope. Lay automatically grabs you and says, "You're coming with me."
Where does Lay grab him? By the wrist, I'm assuming?
No, around the neck.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
She is a rambunctious child who doesn't care.
I've gathered that. Jen turns over, gives one last look of his brother before he is yanked away by the collar.
Yu's waving, smiling, and says, "Have fun, you two. Don't stay out too late."
Must be good to be young.
How old is Hada?
I'm 21.
Oh, he is the
Oh,
oldest.
That's the oldest.
He's old. Yeah, Wei is the youngest. I think I'm 16.
Yeah, you are. Laylee is 17.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
resigned.
So you're resigned to
Awesome.
being dragged around by someone that's younger than you.
How old Zen or Jen?
Jen and you are both 18.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're twins.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha. That's crazy.
Yep.
I'm an old man.
At the very least, I think a lot of people think Laylee is a lot older than she actually is.
Yeah, I think that's the impression that everyone's gotten.
So yeah, so we're just gonna take the taxis like we normally do, and then obviously like my guy is gonna help open the doors for everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, the group that is going directly into the hangar, you can see that there's about 24 workers working on an airship right now that is docked. And you can see what looks like the hangar chief barking orders, telling them exactly what to fix, as he wants the ship air ready within the next hour or so.
Mm.
I'm just walking around inspecting work.
You will go with Hada.
Hmm.
And I guess look around for any signs of somebody having broken in or what have you.
Okay. So this is going to be a perception check, and it's going to be hard with a setback die
Alrighty.
due to all of the people milling about and all the equipment on the floor.
Well, I succeed.
You do. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Let me refresh the game table.
3 success and 3 threats.
Okay. So with that, you are able to find what looks like on the inside. There's a vent grate that looks to be loose, like it wasn't fully secured. However, with the 3 threat, you stub your toe on it, taking 1 strain, and with your yelp of pain, you suddenly attract the attention of the hangar chief, who looks at you and says, "Hey, what are you doing here? This is a restricted area."
What do you mean I'm supposed to be here? I'll flat out just roll deception against him.
Wait, what is
But
this
you
guy?
are supposed to be here.
So what? So are they? Did we split up the party already?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That was the idea from the beginning.
Oh, good grief!
Mhm.
Why didn't we just go meet the guy first and then we split the party?
Because you can cover more ground this way.
Okay.
Also,
Um,
Laylee is not an intelligent person.
Can you repeat what evidence I found? I'm actually going to start keeping notes here on the evidence. That actually kind of matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had the map. The map of the place. and
I
then we-
meant what I just figured out off that perception check.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
A loose
So you
event.
found that one of the vent grates is very loose and doesn't look secure. Looks like you could just pop it open right now without having to unscrew it or anything like that.
Okay.
As soon as I hear Yu's yelp, I actually walk back over from just looking at people's work.
And I'll yeah, if the chief really wants to walk over and be like, "You're not supposed to be here," I will literally just say, "Yeah, I'm supposed to be here. I don't know what you're talking about."
The chief says, "Who gave you the authority to be here?"
The chief of police,
With that, he's like, "Why would she give you the authority to be here? What's going on?"
because an airship blew up.
Wait, one of my airships blew up? With that, he gives like a look over his crew as if they somehow managed to make that happen through their shoddy work.
You know, a bad craftsman blames his tools.
With that, he looks at you and says, "I am anything but a bad craftsman."
He's just gonna point up to the pretty clearly unsecure vent and say, "You know, someone could easily get through that. Might have been tampered with."
Wait, what? And with that, he goes over to the vent and moves it so that it opens up. It's large enough for an average size person to kind of stoop into and walk inside of. And he says, "This I hadn't noticed this. Are you saying this was an act of sabotage?"
I haven't said anything yet, really.
Wait, Chad, waiting at the foreman's at the chief's office.
So wait, so is am I at the foreman's office yet, or are we still doing the investigation? I don't know.
If I remember correctly, you split off to kind of head to the office area.
Mhm.
So you're there now, and we can switch over to you all.
Being which, because there's now 3 groups.
Yeah, there are 3.
Yeah, I
groups.
know there is technically 3 groups, so I don't know which one.
Yeah.
I'm...
Let's do the people who are investigating. I believe the outside area.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Trying to find a way into a vent, I
So
believe.
that is Zen and Laylee.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd call this work a little sus.
So with the map, actually, who has the map right now?
Probably would be Laylee and Zen, because they were looking for the vents on the outside.
So with the aid of the map, you're able to quickly find the vents area, but make a perception check to figure out exactly where one would enter into the vent system.
What's the difficulty?
It's going to be an average with a boost die because you have the map right with you.
Okay. I'm gonna escalate that.
Yeah, okay. Feel free.
I believe in you.
You also have story points available as well.
Or I rolled. It's just taking. There we go. Wow.
Hmm.
Huh. That is a roll and a half.
It
Zero
is.
Okay.
success, an advantage, and a triumph.
So what would you like to do with the triumph? I have some ideas, but I would like to hear from the players too.
I actually have an idea since I technically failed.
Okay.
Is this like a in-ground vent and Jen accidentally falls into it?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So with it, you fall into it.
Except for a short range fall.
It's not that deep below you. It's basically taking like a 3-foot fall. So you would have to crouch to get through the vent system, but you notice where you landed, there's a little bit of blood on the ground.
So Jen is probably insistent on going in front of Lei. And all of a sudden she just hears a creak, 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 thunk, and then Jen is gone. with a yelp.
Laylee leans over the vent, the hole that's now in the ground, and looks down and says this. Are you sure about that? As she jumps down after you, making sure that she doesn't land. Because I imagine that you're on your ass right now.
He's probably, yeah.
Yeah, making sure she doesn't, like, step on you when she lands.
How tight is this vent with 2 people in it?
So you can both navigate it, but in terms of the height and the width, you have to like crouch over and basically be on your knees to get through the vent system.
Okay.
So it's not wide enough for like one person to pass another person.
Mhm.
Okay.
Absent like a person literally laying down in the vent and the other person then crawling over them.
So Lei hops down and the 2 are literally inches away from each other.
Mhm.
Lei can definitely tell the change in Jen's color right now. Whether she assumes that's from the stress of the fall or what else is up to her.
Laylee is focused
Mhm.
on looking down the vent, and I assume that the blood is just readily visible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Jen reaches up. Well, at least we found it, and wipes his head off with the back of his hand, and you can see the front of his hand is just covered in it. He doesn't even notice.
Yeah, Laylee will touch the blood and kind of rub it on her fingers to figure out just how sticky it is, so she gets a feeling of how long it's been here.
So after touching the blood, it's not really sticky at all. It has dried onto the bottom of the vent, so it more like flakes off.
Jin finally sees it on his hand and immediately just like smacks it, trying to get it off.
Yeah. Funny way, Shen. Laylee sees the blood flake and says, "This blood has been here for quite a while." And I would light a torch, but torches and vents are a bad idea.
Yeah, and being in the vent system, you can already feel that there's a lot of like the air is now very humid and hot.
No, it's already much too hot in here.
And Laylee looks behind Zen, because I imagine the vent goes in both ways. The ventilation shaft goes in both ways.
It does.
To see if there's blood behind him or in front of him, or in front of her, in a trail.
So there's blood in front of her, leading towards the hangar itself, and it's like droplets of blood.
Yeah. Laylee gets basically into the army crawl position with her drawing her blades so that she is crawling with them. So I don't have to draw them.
What was that?
Oh, I know. She's not going to draw her blades. She would know that there's unlikely to be someone here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's basically just going to do the army crawl forward. Although she does it at like breakneck speed. Swift talent.
I think I also have that. Yes, I do.
So you can keep up, although I don't think you want to.
No.
But you're going to have
definitely-
to anyway.
Yeah, Jen is definitely going to let the space between them increase a little bit before he follows. Reluctantly.
All right. So with that, you are able to follow the trail of blood, and it takes you right into the hangar where the rest of the party, not the rest of the party, but some of the party were, and you find a very upset chief hangar there.
I imagine that there's like dust everywhere. So now Laylee is like covered in dust as she appears from this vent in front of the foreman.
Yes, you are quite covered in dust at this point. And with that, we'll switch over to the last group.
Which is Wei Shen, all by and lonesome.
All by his lonesome, like he normally was. If only he brought his butler or servant with him for this mission, at least. He also made sure like he cleaned off all of his stuff from all the fire and stuff, his armor, so it's all good to go before he goes and talks to the foreman or hangar chief. Okay. So we're so I guess we're going to like the main office or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you're
gotcha. Is it
able
pretty
to-
easy to see that?
Yeah, so it's up on the second level of the hangar, and it oversees the entire hangar area. It's the only like office space that's there.
Okay, I see. So I'll go up there. I'll give a small knock on the door. I'm guessing it's closed.
Yeah, it's currently closed right now.
Alrighty, I'll give it a small knock and I'll wait for him to open the door.
You hear a lazy voice shout out saying, "Come on in."
Alrighty, I'm gonna open the door, and I'll give a small, respectful nod to the man, and he says, "It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Mr. Hangar Chief. How are you doing today?"
And he says, "I'm fine, but what is a Fire Nation noble doing in my shop?"
Wei says, "I was sent here by by the was it the chief of the police or was it like a commander
It
or
was a commander,
okay?"
Commander Fong.
So I was sent here by Commander Fawn to investigate a bit of sabotage that happened here at this hangar.
What sabotage?
Uh, well, if you didn't know, on the other one of your ships that was that flew through this hangar that went from here, midway through their flight, their engine blew up from a explosive device that was planted on it. And we were me and a couple of my compatriots were able to help make sure everybody was all right and nobody got hurt. But we've been tasked to come here and investigate, see how the criminals did that. We believe it may be the triple threat triad that had a hand in sabotaging your ship or sabotaging the ship. So we came to investigate and see if there was any potential people here that might have ties there, or if not, if there was some way that the intruders got in to your facility undetected.
With that, he responds back saying, I can't think of any of my men who would betray us to the triple threat triad.
So Wei looks to him and says, "So none of them ever had like any deals with them, or like didn't buy any of their stuff. I'm guessing, is that right?"
Not that I'm aware of, but you'd have to talk to the men themselves
Uh,
to confirm that.
okay. Wei would then ask, when was I probably know, like, is there like probably on the side of the ship or whatever the name of the ship or whatever that flew from here, or
Yeah, it goes by destination number, so it's number
it's like
67.
gotcha. So I would ask him like, do you happen to know anything about the number 67 ship? That's the one that blew up, or like who was on duty at that time, perhaps when it departed.
Well, know that we recently serviced the ship because it was having some problems with the rudder system. Oh, so we went and fixed that. Oh, it must have been about, I don't know, 2.5 days ago. We worked on that.
Okay, was that the number 67? I'm guessing, sir.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so do you happen to know where that ship went after that? And you fixed the rudder, and then what happened after that? Do you know where it went to?
It stayed in the hangar for another day, and then began its patrols a day ago now.
Okay, so it did its patrols a day ago. Um, so when it does its patrols, does it stay like for a normal patrol, like ship or whatever? Do they stay in the air for that whole day, or
Pretty much, the shifts are 20-hour shifts.
okay?
So it stays up for most of the day. It gets examined over once again for 4 hours just to make sure that there's no maintenance concerns. And then we have the next shift go on 4 hours later.
So Wei would then ask, so regarding the time frame of that, would you say that the 28-hour time frame, because we probably know roughly like the how long ago the explosion happened, right? And when it was crashing.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, so I would explain to him like the time of when it happened, and I would say, would you assume that the number 67's next shift, which is when it took off from here, was within that next 20-hour time frame, or was it like the shift after that, if I may ask?
It was the first one that you mentioned.
Yeah, so it was so basically it got fixed here, went on its first patrol, and on that first patrol was when it blew up. Is that right, sir?
Yes, that is.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. He scratches his chin, kind of deep in thought. Uh, as he says, I know some of my compatriots are currently on the floor at the moment investigating the different parts of the facility, trying to see if there's any way that the intruders could have got in. They probably are investigating it right now. So in case there's any sort of like disturbance or like your men are ask or saying there's someone like that there, it's most likely my compatriots trying to investigate to make sure that there's not any clues or anything like that they might have got in. Just so I can also ask, sir, do you happen to know if there's any suspicious characters that you've seen around the hangar at all lately, sir?
Uh, I mean, we get the occasional person who wants to check out the hangars, but no one really suspicious. No gang activity that I can recall, anyway.
So Wei gives a nod and he says, "I see, sir. So and then like I had asked earlier, did you happen to have like a um maybe like a list of the people that were on duty at the time of from while the number 67 was here, sir, just to double check. We just want to make sure that there wasn't any suspicious people that was there. Obviously, I trust you and your judgment, sir, but I just want to make sure. Most likely, like we said, it's going to be somebody that was an intruder, most likely. But I just want to double check that it's nothing happened with any of your men and stuff like that. So, if you'd like, do you happen to know that kind of information, sir?
I can get that information from you. We have the records of who worked. We store all those records up here in the shop. And with that, he goes over to a corner of a filing cabinet. And after a couple of minutes, he produces a manila folder that's full of information about who was assigned work that day and on what particular projects regarding the airships.
Okay, so I also then ask him, so when it comes to how who can go in and go out, can only people that are working on, so example, if somebody was here at the hangar and they were not assigned to, let's say, the 67, could they come in here? Would they be in trouble if that was the case, sir?
We have people who stay around to chit chat or get to their shift early, so there's no specific rule that says that they can't be here. Sorry, that they can't be here. But for the most part, whoever is working or scheduled to work at the time are the only ones that we really expect to see.
Okay, Wei gives a nod as he says, is any of those people on shift here right now, sir?
With that, he looks at the schedule for today and says, "It looks like we have Chen here. He was working on ship 67 on the rudder system. So he is here today."
Okay, Wei would give a nod and he said, if you could maybe point me in the right direction to where he is, I'd appreciate that, and I'll see if he knows anything. But like I said, a couple of my compatriots are also here investigating. They won't cause any trouble or like interrupt any of your work. We're just mostly trying to make sure nothing like this can happen again or anything like that. Just be on the lookout for any sort of suspicious activity, though, and just let us know or the police know as well if anything like that happens. Okay, sir?
All right, I can certainly do that for you.
Alrighty. We'll appreciate that, sir. And stay safe, okay? And then he would go and take. He'd probably take a copy of the Manila folder or what's inside. He'd take copies of it rather, and let him keep the original. Obviously, he would just want a copy of it, a copy of the information rather. And
Right.
He'd probably go and I guess he's now gonna be the foreman's gonna show me to where Chen is, right?
Yeah, he gives you a description of what Chen looks like.
Okay, gotcha. So I'll just go and see if I can find where Chen is right now. Or does he at least tell me like which hangar he's working at right now? Or
He's working at the hangar that you're in.
oh, okay, Is there only like one hangar? Is this like a singular hangar? It's not like multiple hangars.
So you have one hangar. There are hangars spread throughout the city, though.
Yeah, but like this is I thought like for a second that it was like two hangars or like three or something like that. You know what I mean? But so if it's just like a singular hangar, that clears things up for me at least with what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But okay, then that's good. I thought there was multiple hangars that were for this thing or whatever, but that's good. So I'll just go and see if I can find Chen then. Does anybody else want to do stuff? Or maybe they'll see me maybe when when I get down there, because obviously I'll be on the main floor now.
Yep.
So I don't know if anyone else wants to talk to me now that I've got the information.
I think we got to figure out how the guy that's on the floor that's talking to everyone is going to react to Laylee appearing from a vent.
Yeah, that might be a thing too.
Yeah, that probably is a very important thing.
It's not every day that you get an Among Us moment.
Lele sus.
Out of curiosity, will they end up at the vent that you standing right right
Yes.
next to?
Yes, they will.
You just
Alright,
pop
then-
up through the floor.
Whatever they appear, you looks at them and says, "So how was your day?"
Laylee pops out of the floor and says, "Well, there's a blood trail."
Vents
Did
aren't
one
for
of them
people.
get injured?
It's what it looks like. It's an
Well,
old blood. It's
where-
old though. The blood's already dried.
Where'd it go?
I was following it here.
And now that they pointed that out, can I see a blood trail coming from the vent, or is it gone?
You can still see it. It's kind of like this dark red, almost brown color as it's completely dried.
I thought that was like markings or something on the floor. Well, now that I know, and you's gonna start following it.
How long does it take for blood to dry?
It depends on the environment you're in and how much blood it is. It looks like it's like droplets of blood. So like someone had like a small cut that they weren't able to properly bandage.
Gotcha. And I mean, like in this hot, like hangar environment, obviously that stuff's gonna dry up real quick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it might have happened during the whole heist or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the blood trail. Where does it lead me?
I
Mr. GM?
imagine that Zen is just like waiting like 20 feet back for Laylee to actually get
Pretty
out of
much,
the vent.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's going on.
And she just she like jumps out of the vent, like just does a full God, I forgot what they're called.
A
You
front
know-
flip?
Not a front lip. Like you know those box hops that you do where you just jump up and you bring your legs and you land on a box? It's a type
Oh,
of
I know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, if she
Yeah.
just does that and then basically spreads her legs so that she's standing on top of the with either leg on the side of the vent, and she then moves to the side and looks down, waiting for Zen to appear.
Yeah, so as soon as Lay hops out, you hear thunk, 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 thunk as Zhen makes his way out and comes out, probably looking just as dirty as Lay did. He doesn't
Yeah.
seem to care though.
Yeah. Lay offers a hand to him, says is enjoy the belly crawling.
I'm fine, and he'll get up off to the other side of Lay of the vent, just
You
keeping
two
his
have
head
fun.
down.
You two have fun sneaking around in there all alone.
Laylee looks confused.
Zhen is just looking directly down at his feet.
Laylee looks confused and says why do I have the feeling I'm missing something? As she kicks the vent closed.
No. Poor Zhen.
Where's the blood trail lead?
So it leads from outside the vents, and then it goes across the shop floor and ends right where there's an airship that's being worked on. So it ends roughly where the door to the airship would be.
Okay. Hey, any of you working over here have a cut?
With that, a couple of the guys stopped mentioning, and they're like, "A cut? No." They look a little taken aback right now because they don't seem to recognize you.
Does anybody in the factory have like some type of injury? Or in
Let's
the not in the factory, in the
the
So-
hangar
Hang-
floor.
yeah.
So, Wei, is there like a foreman on the floor or whatever, like a manager?
Yeah.
Alrighty. He would look to the manager or whatever. He would give a small nod, and I say, "I see you've met my compatriots. I was just talking to your boss up there. We're I think I don't know if they explained it to you, sir, but we were tasked by Commander Fawn to investigate some things here. Do you happen to know a?" And then I look at the paper and I give her the name, the Chen name. Do you know where he is at the moment? I need to ask a couple questions with him.
Chen? Yeah, Chen is he's working on the rudder system on the ship. He's just right inside. If you go to the back of the ship, you should find him there.
Wei gives a nod as he then would go, and I say, "You did you?" I would also look to the rest of the people and it says, "Did you guys find anything yet?"
There's a blood trail, and Melee gestures to the blood trail, then to where you went, and then follows you.
So yeah, he would ask, where did the blood trail start? Was it
Mhm.
outside or?
Well, we found it when Zen here fell through the floor.
Okay, so the blood trail started. Um, it started in the vents. Then is that right?
And it's either started at the vents or started at the airship. Either way.
Ah, okay. Then what we could do? Uh, we'll see where it goes here first after we talk to Chen, and then from there, what we'll do is we'll investigate the vents again, or you guys can, and see where that part of the blood goes to, and if it goes outside of the facility or whatever, out of the hangar, this main like station or whatever, we'll know how they got in maybe.
Sounds like a plan. And she pats you on the shoulder again, and pats you on the back again.
I'm gonna clean that up again. I clean that up. Ugh. He's like he dusts it off like ugh. And then he goes to and then he would go to the direction like to the rudders or whatever.
Eventually, you're gonna get like dropped in mud, and you won't be able to clean that off.
Yeah, I know. But you can earthbend it off me.
No, it's a fine layer of earth. Everyone needs one.
No. Some of us aren't as effective at firebending if you do that.
Yeah, Jin is still covered in dust and soot. Doesn't seem to phase him.
But you're an earthbender, aren't you? Or are you some sort of earthbender?
He's
Yeah.
a
Sandbender.
embarrassment bender.
He's a what bender?
Embarrassment bender.
bender.
He mainly bends his own embarrassment to make
Yeah,
it worse.
Don't you know that he's a bloodbender? But the only caveat is that he can only bend his blood into his head.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Oh dear. Yeah.
sounds-
I guess. Go ahead.
No, you continue.
So I would assume that nobody tells me if anybody has wounds in the hangar floor.
Yeah, all the people who are out on the floor just kind of shake their head saying, "No, I'm not aware of any." But you saw folks who were working inside of the ship too.
You will just poke his head into the airship and yell, "Hey, any of you guys injured? I don't know, got a cut or something?"
With that, you can hear a chorus of like no's from the front of the ship come back at you, but you can't hear anything from the back of the ship.
Is anybody in the back of the ship?
With it, you can't hear any. There's no response.
I imagine this is the time when Laylee and the others will arrive behind him.
Yeah.
So Wei would say, "Did you find anything in here? Is there anybody?" So Wei would go immediately to the back since the rudder's back there. He said that they were working in the in the ship, right? In the back, right, sir? Right? Or was it like outside on the rudder?
It was inside. They were working on the rudder
Okay.
system.
So inside and the rudder's in the back, right?
Correct.
Okay, we'll go there.
Hmm.
If the rudders were in the front, that'd be very strange.
Well, I mean, like technically you have the controls there, which are tied to the rudder. So I just didn't know, like, if they were specifically trying to like fix the
They're
controls
probably
around.
trying to fix the mechanism.
Yeah, I know. So we'll go back to the back, see what's going on.
So you go to the back of the ship, and there's someone who matches the description of Chen is there. He is currently working on the rudder system. Is kind of banging his hammer against it, trying to straighten it out piece by piece, as it looks like it was bent.
Okay. So Wei would kind of make a small, respectful kind of cough, like to get his attention or something like that. A hem kind of thing, you know?
Okay. With that, he turns around, and I want to have everyone make a vigilance check.
Okay.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be average.
Okay.
All right. Does anyone have heightened awareness?
Average is
Nope.
2 purple.
Somebody can have a boost.
It's 2 purple.
So it's 2
Okay.
purple.
I'll go ahead and take the
1
boost, I
thread.
guess.
Oh, well then.
I'm gonna use a point as well.
I'll give 2 advantage. I'll give a boost to somebody. It's a vigilance. I don't know who.
I'll let Zen roll, then I'll roll.
Okay.
So you'll have 2. Yep.
Okay.
There
Let's
we go.
go.
All right, then I'll roll
Nice.
without anything, so you can actually use this advantage on noticing shit.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
back.
Okay. So
What does my threat do?
sorry, I'm just looking at how much threat you generated. Okay.
Just 1.
With that, you just suffer a point of strain as you end up kind of hitting your head against the bulkhead door as you walk in.
Okay.
Okay, Jen, with your 2 success and 2 advantages, you notice that as he turns around, he seems to wince from turning around quickly, and you see one of his hands grip his side.
Yeah, the first thing that occurs to Jen is to go and try and patch that up. As he starts getting out the medical kit.
Laylee will grab Zen on the shoulder to hold him back and say, "How did you get hurt?"
I took a bad fall and ended up, hurting my ribs. And let's go ahead and have you make a vigilance check against that.
What about an empathy check to see if he's lying?
Well, vigilance is mainly used for detecting active lies.
Yeah.
Empathy is to detect omissions.
Okay. I'll do a vigilance as well.
Same.
You
Okay.
will be good walking on over.
It's gonna I'm gonna flip a story point.
Okay.
So it's going to be 1 red, 1 purple.
All right.
Okay, good luck. It's
Oh.
nothing.
Do you want to escalate that?
Are we allowed to escalate that, or are we not supposed
Yeah.
to?
I mean, I did
No,
earlier.
you're allowed.
Yes.
Okay, so I turn one thing yellow and another red, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll just put these as dice, mainly because
Yep.
I don't know how to upgrade it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
It's easier just to use dice.
Yeah. It's
Yes!
easier just-
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Object.
So I'll roll now.
All right.
Wow.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
How do I always roll the despair?
I know. Didn't you roll despair in yesterday's game too?
I think I did. Someone is Karu rolled a despair when it was
Oh.
the only red in the
The only
I
pool.
know
red
what
in
this
the
can be.
entire session.
Okay, so for both, so Wei, you can tell that he's lying, and that it wasn't because he fell and hurt his ribs. Lei Li,
I think I know what Jen is. I think the only thing he knows is that Lei actually did just grab him and jumps and kind of jerks away.
yeah. Lei Li, what do you have for thoughts about that despair? I have a couple of thoughts, but what are you thinking? You can tell that he's lying.
Possibly because Zen jumps right here. It kind of everyone looks to him and it allows this whatever this guy's name is, I forgot because I wasn't paying attention to
Chen.
that bit.
Chen.
Chen. It allows Chen here the opportunity to do something.
All right. So
I don't know
Chen,
about Wei though, because I did succeed.
You did succeed, but at the same time, it is a despair. So, and
It
that
could just mean that if combat starts, it's a surprise round against Lei.
well, the surprise doesn't exist. But
Late, yeah, you get the idea.
I get the idea where I'd be rolling vigilance instead of cool. But
Yeah.
I think more than likely this guy isn't going to try and fight 4 people at once.
yeah, so he's not going to try to fight. He just he gathers one of his work jackets on the floor and puts it on, so kind of covering his side area.
So,
And
oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Since my guy succeeded, I could tell he was lying, and I say, I know for certain that it wasn't from a fall, sir. I could just tell. But so where did it really come from, sir? It's all right. You don't have to keep it a secret from us. We're here to help, sir.
So with that, it sounds like you're trying to charm him.
Either charm or empathy. Or charm is probably a better one, actually.
Yeah, so that's going to be a hard check. So 3 purple.
Alrighty, that's fine. So is that charm?
Yes.
I'll gladly do that. Can I flip a destiny for this? Do I
No
have
objections
everybody's
here.
filter? Okay, just want to make sure. Or no, never mind. That's not how you do it. Was I supposed to
No,
click it?
you don't click the you do not click the minuses.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, you click on the white point.
Yes.
Okay, I see now. Thanks.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I've never used it is all. So that adds a green. And then how difficult is this?
A hard, so 3 purple.
Okay, 3 purple, gotcha. Okay, let's go. Oh, okay. Okay.
What a check.
Okay.
That is wow.
That is a lot of threat.
It
But
is.
that's a
And
3
that is a lot of blank die.
Yeah, it is.
Hello there.
That's coming out on May 25th. Sorry, that was
What?
You
That's
said hello
Kenobi.
there. It was a Kenobi
Hello there.
reference.
Yeah, I know.
General Kenobi.
All right, so you succeed, but with the threat, okay, I know what I'm doing with the threat. So the information you're getting, you're not sure what you believe.
Okay.
So it's hard to parse out what's going to be the truth and what's another falsehood. So he, oh, what's sorry?
No, go ahead. Tell me what he says.
So yeah, he says, well, I had to. I got injured from someone else.
So, did you get attacked by somebody, sir, or were you threatened to do anything by any chance?
At this
sir?
point, Jen is going to go and try and patch him up.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and make an easy medicine check then?
Sure. Medicine. There we go. Okay.
Cool.
Success
That's
to
good.
advantage.
So that's enough. You're able to patch him up successfully. He kind of winces as you kind of poke at his side. You can see that it's a very long cut, like across his ribs area.
Hmm.
With that, Wei, you had asked if it was like someone who had pressured him or if someone had attacked him, and he says it was both. Someone was pressuring me to do something, and then hurt me to show that there'd be ramifications if I didn't do as was told.
So Wei said, "Oh, well, we came here to investigate something about the 67 on that happened in this hangar, sir. Because you see, earlier today, the 67 that was in this hangar blew up, and there was a very high risk, if it wasn't for me and my friends here, of a lot of people getting hurt and dying, sir. And also the policemen on that ship were very badly injured as well. So I know that you just said that you were told to do something and then you were injured because you had to do it. Was what did the people that told you to do this theoretically tell you to put something on the 67, sir? Because I have right here evidence that you were on duty during that time in this hangar when it was getting repaired.
I didn't put anything there. They did.
So do I got to do a vigilance for that, or is he telling the truth?
You can do a vigilance for that. It's going to be an average check, so 2 purple.
Okay. Okay. So let me do a vigilance. Anybody
Here's a-
else can do the vigilance too.
Yeah, here's actually a question.
Yeah,
Would I get any boost since I'm actively treating him while he's saying that?
yeah, you will get a boost to that because you actively treated him and he's looking upon you favorably now.
Okay.
Oh, do I get a boost too, or does it only the medicine man?
Only the medicine man.
You said it's
so to
hard?
speak.
Or two
It's
purples?
2 purple.
2 purple.
Okay.
I mean, I like that I passed, but god damn are these skewed.
2 success, 3 advantage.
Ooh, yay!
All right. So you can tell that he's absolutely telling the truth, that there was someone else who was with him, and that it was that individual who ultimately planted the device. So it sounds almost like, from what you can tell from what he's saying, like he had to escort the person there.
And at which point Laylee stepped forward and says do you know the name of the person you were with?
With that, he says he didn't use names. He just said he was from the Triple Threat Triad.
Wei gave a nod, and then he asked, "Did they come through that? Because we did. What did they come through that vent? Did they sneak in through the vent, and then you let them into the ship? Is that right, sir?"
Yes, that is exactly what happened.
I give a nod, and I say, I see. Did they have anything to indicate who they were, like what they look like what kind of things were they wearing? If you didn't know their name, and did they endanger any of your loved ones or anything like that, or what did they just like take you? Did they just like take you to the side and then like threaten you that they needed to get in there, sir?
I was leaving work one day, and he approached me saying he knew who I was, where my family lived, and that he needed access to one of the ships. I at first refused, but then he struck at me with his sword. And then from there, I felt like I had no choice but to protect my family and bring him secretly through the ventilation system and onto the ship so that he could do what he did. I never meant for any of this to happen.
Wei gave a nod and he pat his shoulder, and I say, "It's all right. We're what we're gonna do, sir, is you can continue to work here for now. What we'll do is we'll tell the police about what's going on to make sure your family's safe and secure. You can get you can, if you want, you can maybe get an escort with us, or they can escort you safely. But we'll try and keep it on the down low that you told us this stuff, so that we can get your family secure. And then also, any sort of information about what they look like, or because obviously you told us already that they're part of the triple threat, but like any sort of like pictures or like any sort of description of what they might look like will be appreciated. We'll come back for we'll come back maybe like in a couple, like a not minute, but like in an hour or so, with like reinforcements so that we can bring you in for that questioning, I'm guessing, to get the description of what they look like. Does that sound good, sir?
Yes. Yes. Like I said, I'm so sorry for what happened.
It's okay, sir. There wasn't anybody that seriously hurt. There wasn't any citizens hurt. We got everything handled for that most part, and we were able to patch up all the people that did get hurt. But we'll be able to make sure this gets handled. Like I said, we'll be back. We'll make sure your family gets secure. You have my word, and we'll come back for you to get that to get the description of who they were. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Just make sure that you stay put. Don't go like wandering off the hangar, and I recommend you stay with maybe your boss or something like that to make sure that that you're safe. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Alrighty. He gives a nod as he says, "You guys know what to do. Let's just go. Let's try and be nice and safe about it, and we'll see. We'll make sure everything's good to go." So he'll go now to just be vigilant and leave the place or whatever. Make sure everything's all good to go. So he'll also be vigilant for like any of the other workers to see if like they're spies or whatever. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Nobody else is like an informant for the triaders like listening in. So, but I don't know what anybody else is gonna be doing. Like he can Zheng can finish patching up the dude as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, Shin will just get finished with that.
Way's gonna I don't know what anybody else is gonna be doing, but he'll go up back to the boss man to at least inform him of what's going on.
Lily will probably stick around with Jen until he's finished.
Yeah, we'll also need to make sure that he's safe until we get him. Make sure the guy's safe until we come back with reinforcements, I guess. Or
Who
maybe
all
it'll
is
be,
leaving? Who all is staying?
yeah, that would be actually a smart thing. Make sure we have some people stay and watch over him rather than like trusting it to an NPC. You know, an
I would
NPC
say-
that's like a foreman. So I can go report. I can help report.
Yeah, I think
what's going
Jen
on.
and Lei have decided they're going to stay. What about you and Hada?
You will stay. Hada should go.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Alrighty. So, Way's gonna. So I think the plan. What we'll do is Wei will report to the boss man, and then after you're done patching him up, you'll bring him to the boss room so that you guys can be safe there. And Wei and Hata are gonna go report back to the police, make sure his family's secure, and they go and pick him up to get the report of what the guy looks like, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
So so I guess that's the plan. So I think we should first start with like reporting to the boss about what went on, pretty much.
Okay.
So you go ahead, imbecile or whatever.
Yeah. So you're starting off with the boss of the place first,
Yeah.
just to confirm. Okay. So with that, he looks at you and he says, "What did you discover?"
He gave a nod as he said, so it seems that Chen, the worker that was here during when they were repairing the 67, on one of his days when he was leaving work, a member of the triad held him, threatened his family. And also him. They also cut him open and threatened that that they had to be snuck in. the triad person snuck in and put the bomb on there. So it wasn't one of your men, but unfortunately it was a man that was being pressured, and his family was threatened. What we're gonna do, sir, is we're just gonna have him and some of my well-trained bending compatriots bring him up here to your room, if that's all right with you, sir, to make sure he's safe. Um, and then what we'll do is me and I motion to Hada, me and this fine man here are gonna go get the police. They're gonna make sure his family's secure and also come and pick him up so we can see about figuring out who was the person that got snuck in here, sir. Okay.
That sounds like a plan, and if you would like, you can use my radio to
Oh,
contact police dispatch directly.
that would be I would be
Oh.
very grateful of that, sir. That would make this a lot quicker and a lot faster, sir. So
Meanwhile, Wei Shen is, what the hell's a radio?
no. Wei Shen knows what a radio is. He's noble, dude. Oh,
I think it'd be Jen and you who are like, "What's a radio?"
yeah, that's more like them. Yeah,
They
like
literally live out
Fire-
in the boonies.
yeah,
Yep.
Fire Nation is like super high tech, dude. Like even back in like Last Airbender time, they were super high tech.
I mean, they were industrial area, but in order to communicate over long distances, they still use pipes.
That's also true. But like,
Actually, they used birds.
Pipes and messenger hawks. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
but like that was back then. That was like
Okay.
a century ago. That was like
Yeah.
a century and a half ago. But yeah, pretty much he'll use the radio. He probably knows how to operate one of those. Or if not, Hada will know. And they'll basically try and activate the radio to get into the dispatch thing. I don't know if someone's gonna pick it up immediately or not.
So dispatch responds like, "This is dispatch. Who is calling?"
This is Wei Shen. I needed to get in touch with Commander Fawn to discuss the sabotage that was done on the number 67 in Hangar Bay. I give the Hangar Bay number, I'm guessing, because it's probably on the side of the hangar.
Yeah.
So I'll give the Hangar Bay number. Can you patch us into Commander Fawn's numbers, ma'am?
Yes, I can. And with that, there's a momentary
You hear one
Laughs.
click, then another click.
yeah.
It's gonna be like one of those big old phone number things where where it unplugs into one thing and then it unplugs into
Yep.
you know what I mean? It's gonna be
Yeah.
that. It's basically
Yeah,
that.
it's
Operator.
operator.
What, sorry?
No. It's gonna be did the commander pick up the phone?
Yes, Commander Fong responds and says, "This is Commander Fong. I believe you have an update for me."
Yes, this is Wei Shen. We found out that and then I give Shen's full name. That Shen, whatever. He's a worker here at the Hangar Bay. On one of his trips back home. He was taken. He was taken. He was like taken by the triad. By the triple threat triad. He didn't know the name of the person, but he was that him and his family were threatened. They said they knew who his family was. They also cut him open as well. We have patched up his injury, but because he was threatened by his family and such, he helped them sneak in during the day that it was being repaired. Like the rudder was being repaired, and they snuck in through the vents. When they snuck in through the vents, they were able to place the bomb. It wasn't him. It wasn't the worker that was placing the bomb or anything else. I simply would like to request that you help secure his family, and then also just make sure you come over and pick him up, so that we can bring him in and make sure we get a description of what the person that had threatened him was.
Certainly, we will definitely provide that for him.
Uh,
We will be sending a car over within the hour.
Wei gives a nod, and I say, "We'll make sure that we protect this place until you guys arrive."
Very good, then. Thank you for your hard work.
No problem, ma'am. It's the least we can do. And then he says, "I guess over and out" or something like that, and then we hang up the radio. So we hang up the radio, and as I
Okay.
I'm actually glad that you guys have a radio here. It was made it a lot easier. So I guess we'll just go down and check in on the rest of the party who's tending to the people. But I think it's gonna be their turn now that we've reported it to the police.
And then we're attacked by ninjas.
Attacked by the what is it? Not the
Triad.
mafia, but the Japanese, the triad or something. The triad.
All right, let's switch over to the other group then.
Okay.
Jin is just finishing patching the guy up.
Mm-hmm.
You is just standing kind of on watch, making sure that nobody suspicious rolls up on them.
Yep. So you. Oh.
Go ahead.
So yeah. So right now you're just kind of alone in the engine room. No one else appears or anything. You can hear workers working in the front part of the ship. But for right now, you're alone.
You know what? Laylee's going to look around the engine room.
Okay. Like searching like throughout the engine room.
Yeah, making sure that there's nothing out of place. Although I guess you wouldn't really know what's in place considering she's not the person who's being in the engine room.
Nope.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a perception check for that?
Sure, I'll make a perception check.
Give me an average check.
I'll go ahead and make an attempt as well.
Just do a perception check to check for bombs.
Okay.
Blank dice. You almost failed me.
Yeah, no kidding. They have not been rolling well.
No.
I mean, blank
For-
dice never roll well.
I mean, actually, I think I'm the only one who's had good rolls this session, which means that's going to change.
I mean, I've been
Oh,
passing
yeah.
my checks. I just usually roll threats.
Yeah.
With that,
Yeah.
you are able to discover up in the corner of the rudder what looks to be like a small device.
Laylee will, seeing that, will, while probably Chen is distracted by Zhen, will climb up to find it, or climb up to figure out what it is.
It has the triple threat triad markings on it, and it is a bomb. It's currently ticking down.
Laylee is going to, how much time does it look like is on it?
Looks like there's about 5 minutes left.
Huh.
Oh, these guys were going to get rid of the evidence. Laylee, metal bends around the metal around the bomb to basically encase it and make it a ball.
Okay.
Would there be a check for that, or do I just take my strain?
You just take your strain. That's not a complicated metal bending
Okay, good.
maneuver.
And then after that, now that she has this ball of an explosive, she is going to start running
With the explosive, we're leaving it behind.
with the explosive.
All right, and with that, it's 2:30, so we will wrap up there.
Okay.
Just
Uh,
FYI, imbecile. She basically metal bended, and the explosive is like inside the bowl. Is what he meant.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that you were aware because you had asked like if with the explosive because it's basically like a ball of metal and it's like hollow and the explosive
Yes.
inside it. I think
Yeah.
that's what you meant, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Okay,
There's-
just
Yeah,
wanted to make sure. So
there's a reason I did that because I'm about to knock myself unconscious kicking this bomb into the air.
so what? So how much experience or whatever do we get?
you get 15 for this session. You made a lot of good
Ooh.
progress with discovery.
All right. Very nice.
Very
Okay.
nice. Thanks.
It's
I-
a good thing I was goddamn suspicious. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm
Well,
like,
I am going to head out. Everybody have a good one.
You as well.
No
Yeah.
problem.
I'm gonna head out as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out as well.
All right, everyone. Thank you for those of you who joined us and watched all the way through. If you missed any part of this, you can watch it on YouTube at my YouTube channel. Hunter Plays. I will post that link. I should probably post that link onto this channel, onto the Twitch channel. That being said, as always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. And remember to stay frosty. If you want to, remember to join us next time at this time slot at 9:30 a.m. Pacific to 12 and 12:30 p.m. Eastern.